The Introduction of the Sublime Objects of Ideology by Slavoj Žižek serves as a roadmap for this book, laying out its key objectives and the theoretical landscape it will navigate. Žižek begins by highlighting an interesting curiosity in Jürgen Habermas' work. In Habermas' discussions related to post-structuralism, Lacan's name is mentioned sparingly and always in a group, which Žižek suggests masks the significant opposition between Althusser and Lacan. He posits that this hidden opposition is more theoretically profound than the more visible Habermas-Foucault debate. This sets the stage for an exploration of different ethical positions and concepts of the subject associated with these thinkers. With Habermas, the focus is on the ethics of unbroken communication and the idea of a universal, transparent, intersubjective community. The subject here is seen as related to the philosophy of language, version of the traditional subject of transcendental reflection. Foucault, on the other hand, represents a turn against this universalist ethics. His approach leads to an aestheticization of ethics where each subject must construct their own mode of self-mastery without relying on universal rules. Althusser's work is characterized by his emphasis on the idea that ideology is an inescapable part of the human condition, and that the end of ideology is an ideological idea itself. His theory of ideological interpellation shows that the subject is constituted through a process that involves misrecognition. Lacanian psychoanalysis is then presented as offering an ethics of separation. This is based on the idea of not giving in to the desire to eliminate the distance between the real and its symbolization. The real, with capital R, in Lacanian theory, represents a kernel that resists symbolization and is the object cause of desire. This is contrasted with the traditional Marxist notion of social antagonism, which assumes that there is a fundamental antagonism that can be objectively identified and potentially resolved. Lacanian psychoanalysis, as Žižek explains, goes beyond the Euro post-Marxist anti-essentialism by showing how various social struggles are responses to an impossible real kernel. Žižek further elaborates on this by discussing concepts like the death drive. He argues that the death drive is not a biological fact, but a fundamental aspect of the human psychic apparatus that represents a blind automatism beyond pleasure-seeking and self-preservation. This is related to various social and cultural phenomena, such as ecology, feminism, and democracy. In each of these areas, Žižek suggests that there is an acceptance of certain fundamental antagonism or impossibility. For example, in ecology, it is recognized that there is no return to natural balance. In feminism, it is acknowledged that there is no final solution to the relationship between the sexes. The introduction also touches on the concept of ideology. Žižek critiques the traditional Marxist view of ideology as false consciousness and argues that it is more complex. He introduces the idea of the sublime object of ideology and related concepts like quilting point and surplus enjoyment to show how ideology functions in a more nuanced way. He uses examples from literature and film, such as Kafka's works, to illustrate how ideological fantasy structures social reality and how the subject relates to it. In summary, the introduction sets up the main themes of this book, which include the re-examination of Lacanian psychoanalysis in relation to other theoretical frameworks, the exploration of Hegelian dialectics, and the development of new theory of ideology. It positions Lacan's work as a crucial link between psychoanalysis and Hegelian thoughts, and as a tool for understanding contemporary ideological phenomena in a way that moves beyond traditional Marxist and post-structuralist approaches.